Hey, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gent and another Ask Me Anything. Hope you enjoyed the airdrop video I put up on YouTube about an hour ago. Hope you guys have not been too thrown off by daylight savings time. And, I see some comments in here. We'll get to them. But, number one, if you guys were watching this channel for about a month, you were already prepared. You already knew what was happening because I told you guys on February 3rd exactly what to expect. I was one of a few people who was telling you, eat at 2,900. No way. Eat at 2,000 and maybe even 1,600. Guys, like if you're going to show up now, yeah, maybe you didn't see it. But I'm telling you guys, you go back and watch. How many Ask Me Anythings have I done? And how many times we got to keep telling you guys to stay risk off? Now, with that being said, guys, this is an Ask Me Anything, so please feel free to put things in the chat you got questions about, and, I'll get to it, okay? Also, on top of it, if you haven't already, smash the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, and you can check my paid services linked down below. I've noticed more and more people are scheduling video calls with me just probably because they, I had somebody – a couple people actually schedule calls being like, what do I do with my last $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, right? So something, if you want to have a personalized plan, definitely check it out. This is obviously the state of the market. It looks horrible. Now, if you have been watching, you are not surprised. Hopefully you've been preparing for the situation. And I'm sad to tell you, but it's only going to get worse. It is not going to get better. It is only going to get worse. Just take a look at the valuations of our favorite and most valuable tokens. Bitcoin has done probably the best out of the bunch, only down 15% in the last 90 days. Ethereum is almost down 50% at 45% down. XRP is down 9%, so not that bad actually. Although much more recently, it's down about 25% in the last 7 days. BNB is down 20%, Sol's down 41%. I won't really go into the rest. Suffice to say, if Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol are doing bad, don't be surprised that everything else is not doing well either. Now, what's crazy to me is at the same time this is going on, people are talking to me about this bull market that's happening in Pokemon cards. Pokemon card valuations are skyrocketing. Seems like some people are just pivoting and sort of jumping ship. They can't even beat the demand. But let me tell you something. If you are thinking about doing this, you are sadly mistaken because cards, I believe that 3 times MSRP for sealed product. And there's going to be a lot of reprinting going on very soon. So please do not think this is the easy way out. Okay. Now, something that I posted on March 6th, basically I said, okay, basically it never fails. The people on March 6th, what happened was people were like, oh my God, they flipped from saying it's over to now saying that Friday, the announcement on the reserve and everything, the crypto summit will be massively bullish. And I basically was saying already, hey guys, if you loaded up with me, earlier in that week, time to get profits, time to sell because it's going to be a sell the news event. Now, why do I bring this up? Well, unsurprisingly, let me just go take a look over here. I had somebody make this comment here. And this is the thing, and I feel the need to call this out, just like I called out Aaron James the other day. There's always some idiot, and it's okay to have an opposite opinion, but to say stupidness like this, it's unbelievable. Sell the news event already occurred. Tomorrow is PAMP. So you're all in? By the way, your trading is good. And actually, what they ended up showing me was their portfolio, which, shocker, their portfolio is down 45%. They're buying Layer Zero, Pendle, a bunch of junk. Are you surprised? And surprise, surprise, guess what happened? If you took profit, you didn't lose $9,000 on Bitcoin, $150 on ETH, $12 on Sol. It's easy to say stuff, and I was sort of short through puts, and we are not done with a downtrend. Okay. So and honestly, and they try to move the goalpost, right? Oh, lower low. I've never said lower low expected on Bitcoin, although it'll come. I said sell the news. Now, just taking a look over here, if you're wondering what is going on and why everyone is so depressed, this is a sort of view of how tokens have been doing. Sui's down 35%, Jupiter 55%. Like, just look how bad it gets. Tau 60%. Celestia down 62%. In fact, I think it should be down more. It should be down like 90%. Pepe, one of my favorites, is down 68%. You know, we got WIF, biggest loser at 85% of the bigger tokens. Now, a couple things here. I don't fully agree with what Jacob King is saying, although I do think that the announcement on the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve was sell the news, which obviously happened. Of course, Jacob is posting about this after the fact, right? Like, it's, you know, for some reason people don't like saying these things beforehand, but so be it. But what came out of that announcement was there is no clear intention to buy anything other than seized Bitcoin. So, like, basically there is no real buying pressure in the short term. Like, long term, I think it'll be great, but short term, not really. As a reminder for those of you wondering, oh my God, like, how could we have seen this coming? Oh, really? On February 3rd, I made this announcement in the Web3 Secret Society. And at the same time, I made a post on on Ask Me Anything a few days later. Basically, I de-risked majority of my ETH, about 60% was unwound, around $2,800. That's how much I ended up getting when I sort of average it out. I basically said that we would see a big bounce. Whales would exit their positions based on this. And as expected, all these narratives came out. Influencers were telling you it's not over. Influencers kept telling you it's going to go up. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. I was one of a few people really following in line with Jackus, who I believe is the best technical analysis person on Twitter. And basically from this, that we would go from ETH of $2,900 down to a support area of 21. Said it was very weak and likely to break down to 1,600. So I told my group, and, you know, for those of you interested, links are in the description. Basically, you could sell near the pink support, which many people did. They could short near the pink support, which I definitely did on top of selling. And then finally, holding and buying the diff near the bottom. Most people in our group didn't do that, although I think a lot of people are doing that on Twitter, or, you know, some people basically have capitulated, think it's over. Now, here is the chart that I shared, which is basically, you know, back on February 3rd, we would bounce back up here, then either break 2100 down here or bounce back up. And as suspected, the more bearish situation is playing out, aligned with the rest of equities. So now that we are about 5 weeks past that, I'm not surprised to see the price action as bad as it is. Equities are getting completely crushed. I think we're going to have some equities puke. And now more and more, I'm seeing other people, bigger accounts, coming on board with the fact that this is basically a top in the interim, which obviously is easier to say it's a top when Bitcoin is around 82K than when it was around 90. I think it was around 97K when I basically said this on February. Now we take a look at USTD tether dominance basically, and tether dominance in the last few months has risen to 5%. So the last couple of times tether dominance was this high was, you know, obviously these areas which marked, you know, I wouldn't say like super lows, but if you look at the Bitcoin chart and the Ethereum chart, these were low. So this is a Japanese carry trade, and then this was the sort of post-Japanese carry trade low before we had sort of bullish election news that sort of drove us the other way. This is basically an inverse chart of the others. What is very good to see is somebody who I'm following, who I think is a very good quant. His name is Dr. Profit. Back in 2022 and 2023, he was one of the few people who I agreed with their take on Bitcoin. So I started shoveling money in on Bitcoin around $15,000 to $20,000. And the day after the Bitcoin reserve, he basically flipped bearish, right? So basically what he said was, where is this? I start selling for the first time since 2022. One small event can change the entire idea. basically he sold most of his Bitcoin at 90K and placed short orders between 90 to 102K if market allows to visit. He was fully bullish from 16K till 6th of March, and now he's full bear mode, selling most of his tokens. And his expectation, of course, is for there to be a correction on a 50, 60K and then a pump, which is pretty much in line with what I've been telling you guys for the last month or so. But he's someone I definitely respect, so I'm happy to see he's on side, although he was about a month late, but hey, whatever. I think the funny part is a lot of people just cannot take pivoting. People just literally are so blinded that they're like, no, I'm bullish, I can't flip. Or some people are super bearish and they can't flip. You need to be able to pivot based on data. If you can't pivot based on data, then you're just an idiot. And honestly, why even watch anything? Like, there's no point watching any videos because all you'll ever want to hear is stuff that confirms your bias, which is not what you want to do, right? And basically now, so he's taken profits from pretty much all his Bitcoin positions. He has some of it left. He has shorts. And I thought this was funny. Some people love their wives for 10 years. Suddenly in one day they divorce. One fact changes everything. I guess they mean cheating or something. I have no idea. But basically, there's an expectation on his part as well that, we will completely come down, which is somewhat of what I expect as well, which is why I was telling you guys, dump your Bitcoin, dump your ETH when you have the opportunity. I basically liquidated my positions, and honestly, it is what it is. People are basically hoping for alt season to come. I'm going to be honest with you, alt season is at least 6+ months away, maybe 4 months. We are not even close, in my opinion, to getting that. Until Bitcoin is settled, there's no way it's going to happen. And you know how down bad so many people are in crypto? Because a lot of influencers lie. They don't even have... What I've learned this cycle more than previous cycles is there are accounts with 100K followers who don't have a pot to piss in. They don't know anything what's going on. They're just as broke as the anonymous account on Twitter posting to 100 followers about, buying some other garbage meme coin. And once you realize that, you realize why, number one, they never have any good advice. And number two, why they're always taking real bad deals. Bad deals in the sense they ruin their brand to basically screw their followers over just for like $5,000. Like, guys, I get deals offered to me all the time. I don't get these massive deals, but I get deals, trust me. And like, if I took the deals, I could have easily cleared maybe like $150,000 to $200,000. But like, I know these things will scam you guys. So I'm literally, I don't even respond to them. You know what I mean? Oh, pitch our NFT, pitch our meme coin, tell people to join our decks, to do all this. No, thank you. I'm not interested. The only times I will take a paid promo is if it's fully aligned with what I like. I've done 2 so far. One was a instructional video for Gravity, and another one was the Telegram app, Bad Bunny, right? Just doing a walkthrough and sort of sharing that with you guys. None of it required capital on your end, right? And at the same time, they have airdrops and they have tokens and whatever. So it seemed like it was worth it. And, I think Bad Bunny's airdrop is coming soon. The Gravity one, I think people earned some ZK token off. So not bad. But otherwise, I have absolutely zero interest. But guys, please, a lot of you are just not willing to see the forest for the trees. And the reason I say this is like, some of you will be okay taking an 80% loss instead of taking an 8% loss, right? Like if you can hold, if you can stomach the drawdown, then hey, by all means hold, right? I know I won't be able to. I know I won't be able to do that and then buy that much more, which is why I completely had to de-risk. That's why if you look at my YouTube portfolio, I basically sold most of the ETH I was on there. I've sold ETH on the other platforms too, just because I want to be able to buy it, 1,600. I want to be able to buy it, God forbid, 1,200. Likely doesn't get there. You know what I mean? And here's something else I want to share as well. So this is from Palace. Basically, his dad is investing in crypto. And I mean, his dad is pretty much aligned. Like, his dad is an insane hit rate, 96% gains. Pretty good. But basically, expects that the 10-year coming down will eventually get us to the point where we're going to see these rate cuts, right? So we have tight money right now, and then rate cuts that will come, and that's what's going to have capital to allow the risk on mode, and that's where people will be able to enter and sort of be able to make more money. So like I said, a lot of people want to throw in the towel right now. I understand it can be very frustrating. This is why I chose to de-risk when we were much higher. Also, if we do get a bounce, that's another opportunity for you to de-risk if you would like. Don't listen to the flip-floppers on Twitter who will literally tell you whatever they think you want to hear, right? Like, let's just go back here, right? These guys will literally tell you it's over when the market's going down. They'll tell you it's, they'll tell you it's time to be bullish when the market's going up. They don't have any real reason. But when the market goes up, that bounce is your exit opportunity. That's what I keep telling you guys, right? That's your exit opportunity until things change. Okay? So just take a look at ETH, right? We go back from here. We look at the graph I shared with you guys. It has literally played out to a T. We're just waiting for this side to play out. It looks like this side is likely to play out more than the upside. I have some exposure here, but obviously I want a big chunk down here. I'll be honest with you guys. Take a look at all the other tokens. A lot of you might be thinking, hey, now's a great time to buy Sol or Hyperliquid. I'm not buying any of these until Bitcoin and ETH are stable. Like, I will not I know originally my price for Hype was $14 when it was 28, right? And I was telling you guys, hey, $28, no thanks, $14, please. Now that we're almost here, looking at the market conditions, it's completely changed. We are not near a bottom for BTC, so I am zero interested in doing that. So that's just sort of my opinion here. I'm not buying any other gems because let me tell you something. A lot of people will tell you that, hey, it is time to just buy the dip, and they want you to buy the dip early. There's 0 point buying the dip early until we have any sort of sign of a reversal. And I think to be safe, you want to build a bulletproof portfolio, and that bulletproof portfolio will be Bitcoin and Ethereum, in my opinion. Those two have the best versions of buying power with ETFs backing them up. And if you just take a look at Ethereum, from the standpoint, once we get down here, like, how much lower can it go? Remember, look back over here. The lowest Ethereum got to, this was like back in 2022, was almost like $900. And that was a wick. Really, around 1,000. Just think about that. So look at what your potential downside is if you're able to get a 1,600 or whatever. Just think about that, right? I also think you shouldn't be greedy on the downside, so that's why I have filled some in the 2,000 range. But at the same time, my biggest buy will come here. Okay, hope it makes sense. I also want to share some wise words from Zeneca. I thought this was a fantastic post. A lot of great things in there. A lot of things I agree with. He basically says he round tripped 8 figures last cycle. Couple things he learned. Number one, always better to sell too early and miss out on gains than to hold too long and round trip, right? Because almost everything will trend to zero, especially against Bitcoin. So even the early sell, when you sort of look back later, it'll look like a genius in a few months. An old adage we always hear: if it's good enough, you take a screenshot. It's good enough to sell. You don't have to sell your entire position, but it's usually an excellent time to at least trim 20 to 50%. Most people on this app absolutely have no idea what they're talking about. Often the loudest and most confident voices know the least, while the quiet and self-questioning ones are full of wisdom, which is completely true. You can't borrow conviction. I say this in my group all the time. I tell you guys as well. Just because I say something is good, doesn't matter. You won't have the same conviction if you don't believe in it, because when things change, you don't believe in it. You only believe that I believe in it, right? Also, if you don't believe in something, then you're just holding, waiting to understand what the person is going to do. And unless you have an inside track to them, if you're not talking to them regularly or whatever, you're done. A couple more things here, stop trying to impress people. That's whatever. There's Bitcoin and there's everything else. I think this is very, very good. I went from a Bitcoin maxi to not a Bitcoin maxi, but one that still believes that Bitcoin has a massive place. You guys have seen this in my earlier videos this cycle, where I was predominantly all Bitcoin. Alts can outperform Bitcoin, but it's only for a small stretch of time. But eventually you want to trade your money back to Bitcoin, right? Now, what is going to be good advice to most people? A lot of people are really shit at picking tokens, right? You run after tokens expecting 100x gain and you go 0% because you just chop your bag to zero. If you are not good enough at this, your surefire way of making money in crypto is just buying Bitcoin and holding it. If you're not good enough to pick the alts, you're not good enough to rotate and whatever, guess what? Just buy Bitcoin. Like his adage here is just like to outperform the S&P 500. Even most funds do not outperform the S&P 500. So sometimes you are just better off buying Bitcoin if you are not dialed in enough in the crypto space, which is not a bad thing. Because remember, at the end of the day, it's not I don't care about looking like the dumbest person on crypto as long as I'm profitable. I don't care. Just like when people invite me to these hard poker games back when I used to play, I'm like, why would I want to play against good players? Hey, call me bad. I want to play against the weakest opponents possible. It's not a pride thing for me. It's a money thing for me. I want to make money. I'm only going to make money against I'll have a better chance making money against bad players than I do against players who are better. Okay. Everything else here is kind of whatever. A couple things here is just there's a skewed perception of how you view money if you're in the space. You think one SOL means nothing, but one SOL, I mean, right now it's $130, but $130 is a lot of money to some people. And it's a lot of money even to me. Like I was buying like a lamp and it cost like $80. And I'm like, man, if I was minting something, I would throw 10 SOL to something. But like we're so disconnected from money and crypto, right? Also, compound interest is mind-bogglingly powerful. You don't need 100x. You just want a bunch of 2x plays compounding and, in a safe way. Also, a couple things here is just people overestimate what they can achieve in a year and underestimate what they can achieve in 10 years. All right. Let's see what is going on here. Hey, Greg. How's it going, buddy? We got Snagadelic. Hi. Ponzik. AK, how's it going? J Marv's avoid leverage. Yeah, I mean, avoiding leverage is definitely a good thing to do. One of the things I've been doing is I have been using puts. So every time we get a market bounce, I will just buy puts right now. And the Web3 Secret Society knows this because I shared sort of the strategy. We did like a 1-hour video where I showed the ways you can go short and the ways you can go long. So how do you make money when the market's going up, and how do you make money when the market's going down? Different ways to do it. My favorite way to make money on the way down is puts. And the reason for that is like every bounce, I just buy puts that are about like 2 months out. So the puts I'm looking at right now are like Binance. Oh, they're on Binance, but they're like, let me find it. No, let's bring it up. So here is an example. So you can see here, strike price, or not strike price, but expiry April 25th, and you can look for a strike price at 23, 2400, 2500. And basically, the price of these contracts is what you risk. So like, if the premium is like $300, that's what you risk. So I like these because they're just a way better way to cap your downside risk on this, and it gives you enough time that you can play it. Like I don't do 1 day, 2 day, 1 week. They're cheaper, but you lose the element of time. And if I expect a move to happen over a sort of period of time, then I don't care about the daily thing, right? If you have a daily, then the time has a bigger influence on its price. Now, if you want more information on how to play puts and whatever, and how to do that properly, join the Web3 Secret Society. Everything is documented, so you have access to it. Hey, Eduardo, how am I doing? I'm doing fantastic. Hope you're doing well. Honestly, like, even though like I expected this, I still don't like it being red because you guys still know I still have spot. I still do have my spot bags. They were drastically reduced, but still I got them. Evening all, another bloodbath of a day. It's only gonna get worse, fan man. I expect Bitcoin to basically probably go to like 71K. 71 is likely, in my opinion. Let me find the chart. Trader Main had a nice chart. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. So this is what Trader Main shared as well. So yeah, 71,378. This is basically where he expects it to come, right? So this is a 3-day chart, but you can see here, like, we broke the yearly open, and we've literally, like, just, while we've wicked, we've closed below it. And we had a fantastic opportunity to short right here and get out. This is sort of what I was talking about last week. But now basically, I would expect this to come down around here. 71K is reasonable. Obviously, like I said, don't be too greedy on the downside. Feel free to buy on the way down. It's easy to buy on the way down if you sold up here, which is what I was doing. Okay. Hey, Okoro, how's it going? By the way, when you say cheap gems, fan man, I really hope you're not buying things like Pepe yet. I like Pepe, but I think you just want the bulletproof portfolio right now. So just buy stuff that like there's still always going to be a % chance that the cycle is over. And if that's the case, you definitely want to just have the gems. And that's 100% Bitcoin, number one, and number two, Ethereum. Hey, Okoro, how's it going? Snagadelic, DCA time. Yeah, DCAing the right things though, right? We cannot be buying junk. This is the time to buy good stuff. I only think two things qualify right now. Hyperliquid will qualify later, and so will Sol. Sol, I think you want under 100 though. How to not get wrecked just a little bit too late, bro. Yeah, Prolo. I mean, it would be late. I mean, I know I answered this at the start of the video. It would be late if I'm only telling this now. But I was telling you guys this a month ago. So, I don't know if you are new to the channel or if you watch any of the previous videos or maybe you watch it, you chose to ignore it. Nothing you can do now. But it's only going to get worse, in my opinion. It's only going to get worse. I don't think it's over, but I think this gets much worse, and then it'll get better. Okay? Render's getting wrecked on levels worse than the lows of last year. Let's check that out. I've not even looked at Render. I have a spot bag of Render, actually. I've not looked at it. Wow, that is bad. That is so bad. Yeah, like we deviated here on the Japanese carry trade, and literally we like, ironically, right? Like we held that support at the Japanese carry trade liquidation, 344, and now it's broken down that, which not surprising again, right? That's why like altcoins are so scary and so dangerous. You have to be very careful. Very, very careful, right? It might be a good buy the dip opportunity later when it's come down. But like, this is the thing, right? Like a lot of these alts will eventually go to zero. Like there's no point just going all in on any of these. You'll make way more money on Bitcoin and ETH. Hey, Skill, what's up? No, just watching the cycle play out. It's gonna be great. Coro's laughing. I don't know why, but sure. First thing I said. Do I think Eclipse will be a good airdrop? I think so. I won't lie. I tapped like 10 times. But I've got like passive graphs or whatever from investments. But I don't have 10 million. I got like maybe 1 or 2 million. That's pretty good. If you are farming Eclipse, I have a guide on it. I think having an ASE is probably a bonus, but I think, providing liquidity on Orca or Invariant is going to be important. The same thing, like I said, for ZK Sync, where we got like, those who listened to that got like $30,000 in US, straight to their wallets if they deposited liquidity, like I said to. I think I was the only one who said to do that. And the reason I said that was because a lot of people were Sybil farming it. And I'm like, this is how you distinguish yourself, right? In this case, I would make sure I have some liquidity providing over time and also some NFT minting on scope. I think ASC will be a nice bonus too. Also, make sure you use their native bridge and some other bridges and mint TETH, I believe is what it's called. Patel, good evening. Waiting with patience for Bitcoin dominance to go down. Why? Why would you want that? Like, here's the thing. When altcoins are getting completely destroyed, like Bitcoin dominance will actually stay flat or go up. Like you can, you see this, right? Take a look at CoinMarketCap now has altcoin index. Like, look at that. Right? I remember like I was coming to Dubai and we thought it was altcoin season, right? This is actually, it was in this time period, maybe a week before this, that I sold all the Bitcoin I accumulated at 93K. And then we basically went all the way down here. You see, like literally all the way down here. It's so bad. So dominance is like in this area, Bitcoin dominance is going to be high. I would not expect it to be anything else. So if you're waiting for Bitcoin dominance to come down, you'll be waiting a while. I would be more focused on accumulating Bitcoin on these temporary lows or whatever. Okay. Hello, Anne. How's it going? Co-ask on Eclipse airdrop. I have over. How did you guys have so many grass tokens? Jesus. There's also going to be a grass airdrop on the 28th, right? I saw it on, I think it was like a Bybit thing. So Eclipse airdrop might be coming to an end. It'd be weird if they call their token grass though. But like I said, same thing goes. It's literally just use the guide, provide liquidity, scope, mint some NFTs. What do I think of Daniel Esteta? I think it's pretty good. We got in on his token in the group around $3, went all the way to 15 or something like that. Sold a bunch, or no, I sold like, did I sell it to 15? I can't remember, but then I bought some back at 15 as well. And then I believe it's now like $6 or $7. I think it's great. I think he had a fantastic project last cycle with Time Wonderland. And I think a lot of people are going to be betting on him this cycle as well. But like I said, I haven't touched on-chain tokens in over a month. I refuse to. I'm so glad I didn't. Like Virtuals is now down like 60 cents, right? So, obviously not good for the virtual tokens I still hold, but it doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, like I didn't want to DCA buy any of that stuff because that stuff will not do well until we get back to bullish sentiment. Sold a bunch, and today anticipation of dump after seeing Bitcoin the weekly and monthly. Yeah, it's really bad, Ann. Good call. Good call. Looking like it's going to 77K. Yeah, agree. Definitely in the 70s, maybe 71K. Was this Pfizer? Best in show with PE drop from 39 to 18 since earnings with big revenues and earn. Yeah, the problem is like I just would stay away from pharma stocks. Like pharmaceutical stocks are horrible. Like this is actually my area of expertise. Like I used to work in pharma, so I used to compete against Pfizer. I used to compete against J&J. Like trust me, there's just very little edge here. The big moves come from big announcements with like the acquisition of a sort of novel agent, right? Maybe some phase 3 clinical trials actually like having really good results. But remember, if they have something in their pipeline that fails, it can be horrible. One of the things you should be looking at, and once again, Jack has put me on this, Baba stock. Like Baba stock, China in overall is just doing very, very well. And like basically, I've been buying Baba stock recently, got in about like $120. It's 140 right now. So yeah, up like about, what is this? It's hard to tell. No. Yeah, maybe like 15% or something like that. Baba stock, about NEO. Those are good stocks because I think US equities are going to keep coming down. I'm waiting for NVIDIA to come down, actually. Looking at NVIDIA, where are we? At 112. So looking for like between 80 to $90 maybe on it. So, it's come down quite a bit, right? 20%. Tesla's also come down a lot, which I'm glad I sold all of my Tesla stock. Look at that. People are saying it's because Elon got involved in politics. Honestly, I don't know. I don't care. This is one of my most favorite stocks because you get like exposure to multiple industries, not just EV, right? But like insurance and autonomous driving and whatever. So yeah, I want to run $200 for it, but we'll see. Okay. Feel like everyone is too bearish. Liquidity coming from China. Yeah, Snagadelic. See, here's the thing, Snagadelic. Everyone's bearish once everything's come down. Like a lot of people are stuck underwater, and a lot of people are stuck with shit coins. Snagadelic, rewind a month ago when ETH was 2,800. How were people feeling then? They probably weren't feeling amazing, but they were all like, "Oh, we're gonna go up, we're gonna go up, we're gonna go up, we're gonna go up." Same with Bitcoin, right? Remember, a lot of people always forget who was telling them this stuff early on, and then basically later when everyone flips, then they're like, "Oh my god, everyone's bearish." No. I said this, Jack said this, whatever, all the way back 6 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago. And over the last week or two, people have come more on board. Jermaine, I deposited some S tokens on Beat, but it isn't showing a balance on the blockchain. Well, when you deposit on Beat, I believe you get STS or something like that. So that should be in your wallet. So I think that's how it works. I'm beginning to think November may be in the top. Yes. November, December was the top, the local top. We'll only know what the real top is in hindsight, right? But that's why we want to see what happens when stuff goes to 70K, whatever, right? Like we'll see how equities handle stuff. At the end of the day, you have to make the best probability bets. So what does that mean for you? Well, this is why I refuse to buy anything else. I'm looking for minimal downside if indeed the bull market's over, which is why I'm looking at Bitcoin and ETH. ETH, like I showed you, had a liquidation wick to like $900. Otherwise, it was around 1,000 something in the last like bear market bottom. So that's very limited downside if you think about it, right? Bitcoin, on the other hand, we had 77K. Maybe it comes down to 40K, maybe 30, right? We'll see. Who knows? But this is why it's so important. We won't know if it's the bottom, which is why we have to be careful. We can't just buy a bunch of alts. That's how it is. ETH hitting oversold levels on our side of 1 hour chart. But why look at the 1 hour chart? Sean, if you're looking at a 1 hour chart, like trading low time frame is just not worth it. Like, yeah, you could maybe get good in for a good quick trade, but why would you do that the other way? ETH has done nothing in 4 years. Well, here's the thing, right? Like ETH typically takes on the second half of the bull market, right? Just look at the last cycle even, right? Bitcoin ran, then ETH started to run. But what happened here is we basically got shortcutted here, right? And Bitcoin basically got the top, and now it's got the correction. And then once this correction gets fixed, or once this correction is basically over, ETH should run. That's sort of what's going to happen. I personally believe, look, the ETFs, BlackRock, let's just go over it. BlackRock did not jump into this game to lose money. You know what I'm saying? And what did I tell you guys? How many times? Oh, let's bring it up here. Let's go back to the ETH chart so I can show you this. Yeah. So remember this? Just look at this box. Once we get, now that we're here, only people who bought in these time frames are positive. Anybody who bought any time frame outside of this, above this, right, is underwater. Wait till we get to 1,600. Then only a fraction of that is not underwater. This is a true capitulation. That's why I believe this will be the bottom. This is why I believe this area will be the bottom. Okay? That's why I've been saying this for over a month. I know a lot of people call me stupid too. They say, "Oh, I'm, paper hand brown gent gonna lose everything." It is what it is. Listen, you don't have to follow. But like I said, you have consistent buy pressure from BlackRock, and you have the perfect conditions for a reversal. Sentiment is so bad, it's unbelievable. It's like most people didn't take profits. Well, here's the problem. Most people rotated way too early into altcoins and never did anything. They never did anything, right? Just think about it. How many people did you see in my videos for the last year telling me I was an idiot for not rotating from Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol into other things, right? honestly, like I am so happy the day of the Trump token. I remember like this was the day I bought this chain, right? I don't know if you guys can see it. But the day I bought this and that bracelet, like I went to the gold souk here in Dubai and cashed out because I was selling Sol at 230, 250, 270. It was incredible. I'm so happy I did that. I'm so happy I paid off all those like Camino loans. Like I would be so pissed right now. But guess what? Even I took profits, but I didn't take I wasn't taking off things off the table. I was just rotating into what I thought was better assets. And then I took some losses on ETH. Like I wouldn't say full losses, but there were some ETH that I bought at 3,300 that I sold at 28. People said I was stupid for taking a $500 loss, and look at that. That loss, instead of being 500, would be around 1,300 per ETH if I didn't sell. Right? Insane. ETH makes the most sense right now. It's a lot. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the amount of people who actually use it to hunt airdrops is like a rounding error when it comes to the size of this. I know you can think it's hard to imagine going much lower than 1,600, and I completely agree with you. It's because of what I just showed you, right? What they need, remember, you got to think of market makers like a mechanical bull. They want you to they want to throw you off, then you don't get back on, and then they run, right? And then you chase and buy higher. That's what smart money wants you to do. So we take a look over here, and the best capitulation area is 15 to 1600. Guess what? 2000 is not a good capitulation area for one reason. People still have hope. Who's going to have hope at 15 to 1600? Very, very few people. Greg, I know you're focused on Bitcoin and ETH right now. Is there a price? No, there's no price that I will buy hype until I see stability in Bitcoin and Ethereum. I will not do it. There's 0 point doing it. Like I can tell you hype at $10, but if hype comes to $10 tomorrow and we're still like this, I'm not touching it. So it's pointless. This now should be the 60-day cycle low. Yeah, I mean, it could be, but I'm not touching it. Like I said to the guy who posted this thing, oh, it's a pump time. It's pump time. Well, talk is cheap. I'd love to see money behind those words. I always tell people, hey, if you want to do it, show me you're doing it, psychedelic. I personally think that's a horrible idea, but it's not my money. If you have money and you want to do it, would love to see it. I personally think, no thanks. If you get a bounce, let's say you get the bounce, right? That's time to exit, sell, not to DCA and hope for a bounce. That's just crazy to me. My thoughts. 15 million graphs on Eclipse. Wow. Are you using an auto clicker? I mean, don't say anything because that's what it is. Thanks, BG. Appreciate that. Not a problem. Adri, how not to get wrecked? No. How not to get wrecked? A couple things. Number one, stop dip buying trash. Number two, if we get a bounce, look at selling some of your tokens to give you the ability to buy on a dip. That's number two. Number three, if we get a bounce, consider buying some puts on ETH or on Bitcoin. You can buy fractionalized ones if you'd like. And number four is, yes, you can buy Bitcoin and ETH at very good low prices. Those are my thoughts. You don't have to do any of them. You don't have to do all of them. It's up to you. But guess what? People who want to go, no, it's not happening. Well, great. You can say that all you want. You said it when it was at 2,800. You can say it at 2,000. You can say whatever you want. At the end of the day, I must be making money off someone when I'm making money in crypto. So if you want to be closing your ears to this, hey, I'm more than happy to smile. I'll put a smile on my face, say you're doing a fantastic job while I take your money. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. Jermaine, the STS isn't in my wallet. Go to SwapX and see if it shows up there. You know what I'm saying? I would show up there. Hello, brother. Hey, Zira. How you doing? John Reed. Oh, this nice Bitcoin vault. Thanks for all the info. Yeah, not a problem, man. I only mean Bitcoin and ETH. Oh, yeah. I mean, even still, right? Like, you can nibble, but like I said, I bought ETH at like 2000 or whatever, right? I have a tiny bit of Bitcoin, but like I basically exited out of a lot of it. I still have the Bitcoin I bought from before, but all the dip buying Bitcoin is gone because I wanted to be able to buy more. You know what I'm saying? 15M grass, 80% from passive. Okay, that's cool. I was like, what is this guy doing, man? You're gonna have arthritis. Like the Cliff airdrop's gonna have to cover a lot of medical bills. ETH. What if you are able to put $1,000 into crypto each month for the next 4 months? What would you do? What I would, for the next 4 months, personally, I would have the money on standby. Okay, so first thing I would say is if you can get 4,000 upfront and just sit on your hands. Here's the reason I say this. It's a lot of people think this is not intuitive. Okay, let's split $1,000 over 4 months. But if you can borrow the $4,000 earlier and have the $4,000 aside as a liability, and basically say, okay, $4,000 is going to cover my next 4 months in crypto, and you don't touch it until we get to a good area. So because you only have $4,000 to put in crypto, likely I would say wait for ETH to hit like $1,500 to $1,600, and then put your money there. And then if you have some extra money over there, buy some Bitcoin around like 71, 72K, 75K, whatever. US dollars, obviously. These are all US dollars. And obviously not financial advice, so you do whatever you want to do. But that's how I would play it. Looks like BTC cycle. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. A lot of people have lost money through meme coins. And now Pump Fund is saying believe in something. When they scammed everyone, the AVAX pre-sales, I warned you guys that this stuff was the next version of rugs. Surprise, surprise, it happened. How do we know this? Well, number one, AVAX teams, after promising that these would only be for people who didn't jeet bags, they just paid the same people, their insiders and whatever. Turns out they paid their alt accounts as well. And they gave some small token allocations to randoms. And what happened? Well, they told people to hold on to it while the team dumped on their head. The people who wanted to hold pre-sale tokens, I think the first 1 or 2 did okay, but the others just completely shit the bed, and now they're all down. So unless you got a pre-sale allocation, you're down big on your position if you held at all. But I'm not worried about this stuff. Like I said, it'll happen, but what does revoking a transaction mean? It just basically means that they can't access your account or whatever, right? So if you sign a transaction, you sign an approval, revoking that approval or revoking that transaction means they can no longer just take the tokens from your account for whatever contract you signed. Damn, I'm late. Well, better late than never. What if we do DCA in those alts? Nope, I would not touch that. LukeX, you have to remember something. You cannot afford, and by the way, please don't just repeat the comment because you posted it and then 5 seconds later you posted it again. Okay, that's a surefire way for me to just mute and ignore you. LukeX, here's my reason for doing this. We don't have any certainty on what this end of cycle will look like. We only have predictions, right? Probabilities. So why is everyone always trying to run after the high volatility plays? Like, why is everyone doing that? Basically, you look for an ETF on whatever, right? On some random bullshit token. And if it doesn't do well, like you're just out. Like these tokens go to zero, right? Like I'm not saying that Cardano or whatever that you're talking about, Litecoin, but they don't have to perform. They can still get crushed, right? Focus on not being out of the game. You need to stay in the game. The way to stay in the game is to buy, number one, the best asset in crypto, Bitcoin, and number two, Ethereum, which is the second best asset and the one that also has the second biggest moat. What did AVAX presale do? Nothing. It was just basically, you had applications and whatever, and they just selected people and they said, okay, we'll give you a 1 AVAX allocation or a 5 AVAX allocation. A lot of these were insane. You know, you basically turned $25 into like 10K. Very good for people who got pre-sale allocations. Very bad for anyone who had to buy secondary, which is what a lot of people were promoting, which is bullshit, right? Yeah, we went through this. I lost some money in pre-sales. Yeah, exactly. Pre-sales are hit or miss. Most of them are absolute trash. So yeah, and a lot of teams use that as an excuse to steal. Like I know iLoop Finance just ended up stealing a ton of money from people, and you know they still haven't admitted it, but whatever. Can I unrevoke? Yeah, you can go to revoke.cash, or you can find that in Rabby Wallet or whatever as well. This website will basically help you do that stuff. Okay, revoke.cash. All right, guys, it's been about an hour. Thank you guys so much for watching. I gotta run, but until next time, hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you later. Don't lose hope. I still think a bull run is going to happen, but you should be prepared. I've already sort of mentioned the things that I would be doing, and definitely sort of consider that. That is, if there's a bounce, you can do one of two things. You can exit out of some of your positions, or you can buy some puts, or do both, which is what I'll be doing. Also, you can, just DCA on really good assets. In my opinion, Bitcoin and Ethereum are the only ones that are safe. Juke finally on stake, would you sell or just hold? I would dump. If my Juke is out, I'm selling, especially after the team announced that they're giving 75,000 Jupiter tokens or something like that. What was it? Something insane. They're giving like a bonus in Jupiter tokens to all their team members. Absolute trash. It's just a way of extracting from community. No, thank you. Thank you, DQ. Appreciate you. Until next time, not financial advice. Obviously, anything I say, you guys will press the buy or the sell button. So make a decision, whatever you think is good for you. Until next time, see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.